Always so proud of them. It's we had to sustain some attacks, especially earlier on. We grew into the game, had a setback, come back strong. Had a setback towards the end, come back strong. So many elements of the game that were good. We're so fresh with it. It's 10 days in, 2 games, and it's never going to be perfect at this stage, especially coming against a team like Arsenal. And the boys have been fantastic, in terms of taking everything on and wanting to do it and being invested into it. And you can see what it means to them at the end.
First of all, you have to give credit to Manchester United. Obviously, we give them a goal, which is unusual and painful, and then they have 2 brilliant moments when they have incredible strikes from the edge. And when we lose a game, I take the responsibility, and we have to protect the players.
We had a lot of giveaways that gave them the momentum to run, and then we know the quality they have to do that. That was probably their game plan as well, to do that, and we let them do that a bit too easily at times.
When you picked the ball up on that far side, what were you thinking?
What I think? I think I need to score.
What has Michael Carrick and the coaching team done? It seems you've got a weight lifted off your shoulders, and seem the whole team believes now.
He know the feeling for United. He know what the fans need to feel. So he tried to show us every single moment. He tried to talk with us to understand the moments, and then say everyone is against us. So I think we feel more together, and then we come for every single game to win the games.
Does this start 2 wins in 2 against big opponents change your views on the job more permanently?
Nothing's changed. I've been here less than 2 weeks, and I'm just desperate to do well and improve the team and finish as high as we can. And having days like this and last week is something you get greedy for, and you want a little bit more. And we need to keep building on this in the weeks to come.
The margins are very small. We made them even smaller today in the manner that we did certain things against Man United. And now it's time to react. Now is we have to see what we are made of and react. And the first game is in the Champions League.
Back-to-back wins. Arsenal haven't conceded 3 goals here in the Premier League since 2023. Talk us through that, especially the fact first goal, own goal, and then to come back like that.
Yeah, there was so much in the game for us today to kind of go through and dissect. I think the game flowed both ways, and I actually thought the first goal we were having a decent spell in the game. Then I thought we got a hold of the game. We felt composed and controlled within the game, and then the goal comes and you think, how are we going to react? But boys reacted so well, and the setback of being pulled back to 2-2, reacting well again. I think we showed a lot of character today, and as well as the quality. But to come here and get the result like we did, we're delighted with that.
2 of those goals absolutely unstoppable. Tim Cahill saying you need to bring out in our studio, you need to bring Cunha on how he did it, but we have to talk about that Dorgu goal because it will be watched time and time again, one of the goals of the season. Yeah, it was a fantastic move, actually, a good combination through the middle, and Pat's done ever so well for us for the 2 games I've been here, and it was an unbelievable strike. It was one of them, it's obviously unsavable, and coming so closely after half time give us a great start to that second half, and both goals obviously were terrific strikes in the second half, so we'll take that. 2 games at home now. How is Dorgu? It looked like a hamstring. Yeah, we'll have to see whether it's a little bit of cramp. He's put a lot of work in down that left hand side as he did last week, and 2 goals in 2 games for him. He's in a good place, Pat, so it's we'll have to assess it. At this stage it's hard to tell. Into 4th. This is a classic encounter. The big names were in all the studios around the world. We had Arsene Wenger in it. He said, I have to congratulate Michael Carrick. The cohesion, the way the ball was played, really good quality. What does that mean to you, and what can it mean to your dressing room? Yeah, for me, I'm just really proud of the boys. We've been together less than 2 weeks, and it's been 2 big games. So it was never going to be perfect, and we understood that. I wasn't expecting the boys to all of a sudden play free-flowing football and everything to click. I think there's certain layers that we got to kind of build towards, but I thought there was definitely spells in the game where we really controlled it well and took the ball, and there's a little bit more to come from that. But just really proud of them for trying to invest in what we're asking them to do, and I still think there's more to come, but it's 2 massive games, massive results, and 2 big, really big performances that we can take a lot from.
Yeah, but when you concede 3 goals at home, it's difficult to win, and I would say the goals scored on both sides illustrated a little bit the way the 2 teams played. The games of Man United were well built up with good cohesion, And the games of Arsenal were more decided by power and deciding fighting on the corner, for example, the second goal and the first goal as well. It was not clean play. But they gave everything, Arsenal, but they lacked a bit, like I said in the first half, patience and technical cohesion. What Man United had. I think there is something going on in this Man United team between the way they beat Man City and they beat Arsenal today. And the way they played was very convincing. And as well, when Arsenal come back to 2-2, usually it's the home team who wins the game. And they found again the resources to score the third goal and to win 3-2 away from home in a top-level game. So I must congratulate Carrick. He has created something.
Really enjoyable game at the Emirates for pretty much everybody except Arsenal fans. Manchester United definitely played their part in that, and we will talk about them shortly. But it's just 2 points in the last 9 now for Arsenal. If Arsenal fans are starting to get nervous, how concerned should they be, Wayne?
Yeah, I think they should be concerned because I think over the last few seasons, Arsenal have been in some really good positions and the fans, they've seen this happen before. So, you know, these bad memories are coming back. And I think over the last 3 games, picking up 2 points will be a concern for not just the fans, but the players and the manager.
I actually think it will give them a jolt, a gentle reminder they're not going to have it all their own way. I don't fear for them as much as Wayne may be. And I have to say, they came up against the Manchester United team today. Brilliant performance. Their top players all played well, although it pains me to say it. They did. They played really, really well. And sometimes if you're not quite out and you come up against a side who are banging form, you lose. And they can't win every week. They're going to have these little blips along the way, but I think they'll bounce back.
They did start really well, though, Arsenal. So what changed, Wayne?
Yeah, Arsenal started the game really well, and I think from there they maybe got a little bit complacent. So if we take a look here, this is after they went 1-0 up, and you look at Gabriel and Saliba, who've been brilliant all season, but the distance between them is way too big. It's a great pass from Bruno, but the distance too big. And then Gabriel does something which I don't think I've seen him do this season, or do many times. He steps forward trying to play offside, and Bruno goes through. He has a great opportunity, similar to his goal last week. He should shoot, he doesn't, but that was a warning time for Arsenal after they went 1-0 up. And then here you can see the frustration. And then if we look here, Kobbie Mainoo, Odegaard's with Mainoo. Man United in control of possession. Odegaard goes and presses, but no one comes with him. The back line drop off, the midfield drop off, and that allows Kobbie Mainoo to be in acres of space to do what he wants with the ball. And Mbeumo's in a good position, and Gabriel should go tight. That's what he's known for. That's what he does. He doesn't. He drops off, plays a through ball, and then Saliba doesn't know anyone's behind him. So the lack of communication is there. And then here, this is a big worry. Saliba's got the ball. There's no movement in front of him whatsoever. You see him with his arms out. He's asking for movement. Zubimendi then gives him a little bit of movement, but it's slow. It's not moving Man United around. Declan Rice comes to get on the ball. Now Declan Rice wants the ball played in the space, but Zubimendi doesn't give him it. He plays safe. He goes back to Saliba. Odegaard then should come to show for the ball and get on it, but he doesn't. He stays away from the ball. Saliba then has to go back into Zubimendi, who plays a terrible pass, big mistake, and Mbeumo gets the ball, and it gets Manchester United back into the game. So I think after they went 1-0 up, they went safe. They didn't really then go and attack Manchester United, and allowed them back in the game, and ultimately they've lost the game because of it.
That safety plan from Arsenal, is that sort of playing into the fact that they aren't getting these goals from open play, Danny? Because when Arsenal do well, we praise them for how effective they are from set pieces. When they don't do so well, we look at the fact that they can't really score from open play. They're as low down as 17th in terms of the percentage of goals that come from open play. Is that a worry for you, do you think?
It's becoming more of a concern. I mean, I don't think Wayne...
Even though they're second for goals scored overall in the Premier League?
Yeah, but they're so heavily reliant on set plays. I don't think Wayne or I realised they were 17th in open play, and they've spent a lot of money on players to supplement what's already a good forward line. Nobody's won the Premier League with a goal scorer who hasn't got 13 goals. I think it was Man City and Chelsea, Gundogan and Lampard in years gone by. They've got Gyökeres and Trossard with 5. Now, they might break this rule because they are so good at set plays. They might. But it must be a concern for Arteta that he's got this abundance of talent in forward areas and can't seem to get the creative element to them to score the goals. It's becoming... No goals against Forest, no goals against Liverpool. They had an own goal today and a set play. It's got to get better.
Arsenal then looking to improve as they push for that Premier League title. For Manchester United, it's just a second game under Michael Carrick, and yet we're starting to see some kind of shoots of recovery from them. And Bruno Fernandes right at the front of that, Danny.
Well, he's a phenomenal player, but he wasn't the only one. Senior players like Maguire, Casemiro and Mbomo's led the line twice now beautifully, done really well, like really comfortable with it. Martinez is back in there, the keeper's settled in. But they look happier. Their body language is good. They all want the ball. They're all trusting each other with the ball more confidence. Bruno is brilliant wherever he plays technically. Defensively, when he plays deeper, he can be found out. But in this role, in the last 2 games, back as a 10, you can see him scanning there just before he gets the ball. He's got the pictures, his awareness of where players are. His fitness is tremendous. He's always moving to try and make space. And I like the variation in his game. He's brave with his passes when he needs to be. He'll try and make that. That's just superb play. Gets United on another attack. But he's also good at dictating. He knows when to slow it down and when to, but he's brave. And I think he's probably one of the best in Europe, actually, at making chances and being brave with his passing. He doesn't care about making mistakes. This little give and go is always in the right place. OK, it's a brilliant finish, but he doesn't get that ball back if it isn't Bruno. That awareness again. And this is probably my favourite clip. It's calm, composed, keeping his team on the ball, frustrating Arsenal, probing, just dictating the tempo of it and the pace of it. And that's the experience and the know-how of a player like Bruno. And also, he's come back from an injury just recently and just hit the ground running again. Clever passes like that, under pressure. We'll flip it in behind because they're pressing us high. And then this here, most players here, in behind, be safe. You're going to get this. Players closing you down, you're going to lose it. The extra touch he took there into Menu, then ends up with Cunha, another brilliant finish. But I could have picked a few players today to do a piece on, but I think he deserves the plaudits because he's just that little bit above in terms of his levels and his game management. Superb.
And the other person who's getting a lot of plaudits is Michael Carrick. Players are always going to praise a new manager because they want to get on the right side of him. But Matheus Cunha absolutely glowing in his praise of Carrick. Lisandro Martinez has already posted on social media talking about the work that Carrick and his backroom team do as well. You know him. What's he been doing to get this performance out of Manchester United?
I think a level of calmness, I think, which hasn't been there, I think, for quite a while now. And I think when you look at Michael Carrick, you think he's a quiet lad and he studied the game, he understands the game, and he's gone into that job and knowing it's a difficult job to do. But what he's done, he's brought the basics back to Manchester United and players working hard, players getting behind the ball, they're running for each other, they're working together for each other, and they're more confident. And certainly after the last weekend's win, they're more confident. So I actually seen him on Saturday morning, and he said to me he had to stop training. The training was that good. He wanted to try and bottle it up and make sure they had that performance for the game the following day, which obviously we did. But I think he's done superb, and I'm absolutely delighted for him.
I think one part of that, though, must be, and you can tell me better, but he must be communicating with the players better in terms of freeing them up. Because when I talk about body language, players being more confident on the ball, that comes from your leader giving you that freedom. And maybe before it was more rigid in that hammering system. Is he a good communicator in that respect?
Oh, unbelievable communicator. And I think for the best managers, what you need to do is make sure every player, as you said about Cunha, every player is happy and wants to play for you. And I think the last 2 weeks have really shown that. And Cunha's come off the bench twice, and he's had the impact of his assist for Mason Mount, and obviously his winning goal today. So his communication will have been spot on.
Because the question about Manchester United has always been, how good is this squad? How good are the players that Manchester United have at their disposal? And you can see the difference that those sort of intangible things like confidence, like belief, can do to a squad. And that's almost the hardest job for a manager. And you can go in and you can work on set pieces, or you can work on certain tactics or shape. But confidence seems to be the hardest one.
Yeah, confidence. But he's given belief into that group of players, I think. Sometimes with young coaches, and I think with Ruben Amorim when he was at the time, sometimes coaches are guilty of overcomplicating things and
too much information.
Trying to give the players too much information. Yeah. I think what Michael's done, he's gone in and he's given them not so much information, but actually just reminded them the basics, what I spoke about before, of making sure you do that right. And then you have got good players in there who can win games.
Dorgu's the best example of that. The last 2 games, He's been absolutely amazing. It looks like he's just playing freedom. It's all over the place, scoring goals, making things happen, enjoying himself. That's football. It's a crazy season at the moment, and the ups and downs of teams, especially Man United, is making our job more interesting, I suppose.
The other thing that's making it more interesting is speculation about what happens at the end of the season with Manchester United. And the club were very careful not to give... Listen, wait till you've heard the question first. The club have been very careful not to make him like the interim or the caretaker manager. They said he's got the job till the end of the season. After that, there will be a longer-term manager in place. If it carries on like that, do you think that if he continues like this, could he be the right man for the job?
Of course he can. I think, listen, Michael Carrick's got an opportunity to show everyone, to show Manchester United that he's capable of doing that job. And what we've seen the last 2 weeks, of course he has to have a consistency about his results and performances, but what we've seen is he's very capable of doing it. And if it carries on like this, there'll be a massive pressure on Manchester United board to put him in at the end of the season. I know they've been there with Ollie before, but I think this feels a little bit different. You never know.
Great game. So many stories and tactics to come out of that. You go look at each goal, and in fact, the first two show the sort of positives and negatives of what Arsenal do with their fullbacks.
Yeah, and you can look at it both ways. Listen, I thought Manchester United were brilliant, and Michael Carrick, he talked about sort of a Manchester United way, a DNA. There was a courage without the ball and with the ball today. But I just want to look at Arsenal initially, and we'll get to sort of 1-0 and 1-1. And I just want to highlight a couple of things first, is that this sort of building up with a back three, with Zubamendi in the middle there. And that happens with a lot of teams. The midfield player drops in. So we'll get to that again at 1-1 also. So that happens a lot. And what that does is, it gives you freedom to your full-backs. So that's Timber, almost playing like a centre forward. And that's Nkapia there on that side. So that's your right back and your left back. So that's the interchanging of positions that Mikel Arteta likes. So we've seen that set up. We've seen it before as well. But when we're talking about being courage for Manchester United, and again, this happens on the goal also. So they've got the ball at the back. Now, Arsenal are stepping in. And I just want to look at this now as we stop it. So this time, it's
there
on that side. He's in a different position with Ahmad, but it would be easy for him to take up that position and look after the left back. But the idea for Michael Carrick was the wide players or the strikers, can we get after the centre backs and stop the ball going wide? He doesn't stop it going wide. Okay, so that's the risk to reward.
And then they're in a bit.
But then they're in a little bit. And then what happens is, Nkapia is making his run forward. He puts the ball in the box. And who is the furthest player forward?
Jurriën Timber.
The right back. So he's in that position. So that's your left back. Your right back is the centre forward. And again, that is that interchanging of position. So listen, brilliant from Arsenal. You've still got a really strong rest defence. 2 or 3 players behind the ball. And we see the ball coming. We know it's an own goal. But with Martinez here, once he's got hold of Timber here, now he's trying to be tight and aggressive. Timber's stronger than him. So even though you think you've got hold of him, he's got hold of you as well. And he's too strong for him, so he can't push him, he can't move him. And then, as I said, sometimes you can get too tight as a defender, and the own goal, and Arsenal find themselves 1-0 in front.
But then you flip that then, and for the United goal, the position of the fullbacks again is relevant, and the position of Zubamendi?
Yeah. So what happens is you've got your back three again, as most teams like to build up. It's not one of the midfield players, that's Timber's in there as well. But what happens, just keep an eye on Zubamendi. So he's in a central midfield position before. I don't actually think he needs to get involved because they've got the back three. Saliba can just pass this ball here to Timber, but now we see Zubamendi. So as soon as Zubamendi moves in, that means that your role now changes. You go here, and there's your left back on the far side. So again, it's interchanging positions. Now, Roy mentioned that he probably didn't think Declan Rice could get this. It's just interesting that could that ball have actually just gone into Declan Rice in that position.
Because he's probably got the step on. I can't tell which United player that is that's fine, but he has, hasn't he? I think.
Yeah, I mean, could you play that ball? Maybe. Okay. But what happens is, because Declan Rice makes that run, and now Zubimendi's in the back three, when he looks Saliba to go in there, there's no one there.
Yeah.
There's a big empty space because one midfielder's run forward and the other one's dropped into the back three. And then even Saliba tries almost to play a 1-2, runs forward, listen, there's a poor pass. But the thing that I really liked in terms of the courage from Manchester United that I mentioned before. So when you're talking about this man again, we've said before, he's in this position. It would be easy to take that position and say, OK, I'm not going to let Gabriel step in. But they've took the risk on the first one, maybe caught them out. But the risk he takes here now to press means Saliba can't go back, puts him in trouble, and then he's in a position to go and score a goal. And this is fantastic. He could use Bruno Fernandes, but the coolness he shows, and listen, he's been a revelation since he's come into Manchester United, this guy. So cool, goes past the best goalkeeper in the Premier League right now. And we don't see enough players do that, actually go round goalkeepers.
He's just gone with his job, hasn't he?
Yes.
You know, and that may sound daft, but there's no sort of... There's no drama with it.
No. He was one of those players you looked at Brentford, could he scale up? But certainly in this first 6 months at Manchester United, he's been fantastic. But again, I have to give a lot of credit, not just to him, but Michael Carrick, how they set up the team. It was on the front foot with and without the ball.
And they stayed on the front foot in the second half, didn't they? It wasn't like they were going to settle for a point.
No, it wasn't. And this, again, when you talk about getting players forward, so the wide player comes inside the goal scorer as it comes into his feet now. So there's your wide player coming off the line. And then what you have on the outside is Luke Shaw. So this is 1-1 away at Arsenal. The football now is absolutely fantastic between Bruno Fernandes and Dorgu. A couple of 1-2s between the two of them. As I said, it's fantastic football. And as he's about to hit it, now, and we just stop it there. So when you think of Manchester United, we've mentioned the fullbacks of Arsenal being high up the pitch. Luke Shaw, Dalot. There's your two fullbacks. And then you've got Bruno Fernandes, Dorgu, the goal scorer, your winger, and Mbeumo.
So you've got six, haven't you?
You've got 6 players high up the pitch. Again, being on the front foot, being positive. 1-1 away at Arsenal. And let's be frank, this is what the last manager did not do. He didn't have this courage at all. You think about games that have happened at home in these last sort of few months, the Everton game being won, where you were against 10 men. They didn't have that. So you see 2 full-backs, sort of 25 yards from goal, along with a lot of other attacking players. And listen, it's a wonderful strike. And puts Manchester United 2-1 in front.
It's not a buendia, that, is it? It's just a thumping.
Yes, it's very... as soon as I saw it, it reminded me of Tony Yeboah.
Yes, exactly. Yes. That's so much better when they go off the bar.
Off the bar is just something special. It wasn't handball. I think that was a bit of a desperate play, I think, from Arsenal players. Listen, as we would all do. But that's what it felt like. Yeboah got a couple of those, and we'll always remember them. And maybe we'll always remember this from Dorgu.
The previous manager gave him a bit of stick, actually, and he's really thriving at the moment. So I'll go back to the same question I asked about Buendia. He deserves a lot of credit as well.
He does, because I thought he might be one of the players to miss out when Manchester United went back to like a 4-4-2 or a 4-2-3-1, because he did almost seem like the only real genuine wing-back I felt in the squad. And I thought he would find it tough. And when I actually saw him in a wide position, when you think of some of the players who were on the bench as well, Cunha could play in there as well, and Mbeumo was actually gone centre-forward, not wide. He's given him his head and he's repaid him.
So peace time for the equaliser?
Always is, isn't it? Yeah. If there was a way they were going to get into the game, it was going to be a set piece. It normally is.
Let's show it then.
Yeah, I mean, Gary made a great point on commentary when they made the substitutions. Michael Arteta made 4 subs, and it made Arsenal a lot bigger. Now, listen, they're always fantastic because the delivery is so good, but it's just so difficult. I think it's Harry Maguire who gets the first header. He ends up facing his own goal, bit of a mix-up. And Marino, how many goals does this guy get? He's brilliant for them, isn't he? You know, set piece-wise and in free play and well over the line.
It was actually Šeško that tried to clear that off the line. So when you talk about Carrick being positive, Dorgu had gone off and he replaced him with a centre-forward and moved Cunha out wide, and then it was Cunha who got the winner. Because, again, United weren't settling for a point.
Well, the good thing that they do here, Manchester United, is this is off a long ball from the goalkeeper. And when it is late in the game, it's 2-2, you want to get players around the ball. So there is your front four. We've mentioned before about a front six. Oh, have I lost count? That's five,
That's five there.
Well, one of them is actually Kobbie Mainoo.
Yeah.
He plays a huge part in this to get around the ball and win the second ball. And again, it is brilliant football from Manchester United in such a tight area.
That's
again, lovely one-twos. The great thing that I love about Cunha is how early he hits it, because he's putting it past the best goalkeeper in the country and he doesn't get anywhere near it. But the thing I really like here is... So what have we got there? Yeah, perfect. So you've got sort of 4 Manchester United players against 6 for Arsenal in a really tight space. It's almost like a training session now. And normally the 6 players would not let you out of there. So that's a massive credit to the players Manchester United have in there and how they get out of it. So intricate, brilliant technically in such a small space. The 1-2s are fantastic. And Cunha then, and I just want to slow it down, not because it's any criticism of the goalkeeper, but when I looked at the shot, I thought, yeah, I know he's given it a good whack, but the goalkeeper doesn't seem anywhere near it. And when you look at it from this angle, we'll try and slow us down as much as we can. Because where the defender is now, as he strikes the ball, it's right down the centre. If you see the defender there, he's right on the penalty spot. So the goalkeeper has to almost stand the other side of him. And Cunha's going to put this ball around that way. And that's what makes it difficult for the goalkeeper. He's unsighted. He's going to put it round there. And just watch the goalkeeper. Because he takes it early, I think he's not quite sure when he's going to hit it. I'm just going to try and... I think the goalkeeper is only just diving now.
Yeah.
But he's fully pushing off. The ball's now 4 or 5 yards away from the goal. And that's because, as I said, he was probably trying to look around the defender. He's hit it so well and so early that the best goalkeeper, as I said, in this country can get absolutely nowhere near it. And it doesn't go in off the post, if you like. It's a yard inside as well. So, brilliant from Cunha. He's a really good player. He's struggled for goals, hasn't he, early on in his Manchester United career. But as soon as he gets his head down, there's no thought other than taking the shot.
It's only 3 touches before he hits it. And Ahmad was an option actually out wide. So it is surely how early he took it that catches them off guard.
Yeah, that's what, because the goalkeeper wasn't set. Hopefully there is goalkeepers watching. He'll tell me. But when you're a goalkeeper, you've got to get yourself set when you think the shot's going to come, because you're ready, you're on your toes to jump off. As I said, he was trying to look around Gabriel, and also by the time he actually moved his weight to the other side, he just couldn't get there. He had no chance.
I know all the guys early had the opportunity to sort of answer this, really, but you as well. Are you surprised by what you've seen in the first 2 games from United under Carrick?
Yes, I am surprised. I did know that Manchester United were an awful lot better than what we've seen over the last 12 months. That's why I said here before Ruben Amorim went that I used the phrase, I don't think he was a competent, Premier League manager. Right now, in the 12 months he'd been, he hadn't proven that. Because, as I said, I think most managers would look at that Manchester United team and not expect to beat Man City and not expect to go away to Arsenal and win. But this group of players, set up in a sensible way with players in the right positions, playing the normal Manchester United way, I think should always be good enough to be getting a European position. But right now, they're looking like they've got a great chance for the Champions League position.
OK.
That's what he means to them as well. 3 shots on target, 3 goals. I mean, that's the perfect win when you put a plan into place at somewhere like the Emirates, isn't it?
Yeah, everything's got to be perfect. But it does sharpen your focus. Your 3 shots, I don't think it's a coincidence. You don't get many chances when you go into places like the Emirates. Arsenal didn't defend horrifically at all. I mean, 2 unbelievable goals. Obviously, they will think they can avoid the first goal. But it's just amazing, isn't it? When you sit in this seat, or Michael Carrick, or the player, sometimes you just don't know. It's just that confidence, that new belief, that something. And we can't quantify it. But having confidence as a player, having that belief again, it turns you into Superman. I mean, it's quite incredible. And as I say, you can't quantify it, you can't say how or why it comes, but as soon as you start feeling it again, and we've just seen in 2 games, Manchester United have put in 2 unbelievable performances. I actually thought they played better against Manchester City last week, but they were so clinical today. 3 half chances, and all 3 of them in the back of the net against a serious side who I still think will go on and win the league, but that's a real statement from Manchester United.
Yeah, so 1-1 at half-time, 5 minutes into the second half. A player who, until Boxing Day, had never scored in his Manchester United career, now has 3 in 6. Will he score a better one in his career?
No. That's why his teammates were doing that one too. I mean, and you know what's... You need a little bit of luck sometimes in football. Takes a bit of a... Bruno takes a bad touch. Dorgu misses it. If it bounces up to him, and the strike is so pure. And sometimes on that volley, it just needs to sit up to you. I love this. Great little 1-2 initially. But Bruno takes a baggy touch, volleys it into the deck, misses it, and smashes it top bin. What a finish. I mean, honestly, he's absolutely on fire at the moment. It's amazing.
Both goals here, you know, wide player coming inside, and we just saw the 2 wide players there, Saliba and Timber. They got distracted by... In this situation, it was Luke Shaw making a run down the left-hand side, and it just gave Dorgu the chance to come inside unmarked, and exactly the same happened for the 3rd goal with Cunha, which we'll obviously go on to see. But those players drifting off the wide area with an overlapper on the left-hand side really caused Arsenal problems in those 2 goals. But talk about the strike, it was incredible. Cutting across it, so it was always going away from the goalkeeper. I guess you think, I can get it. And it's going further and further away.
Yeah. And he didn't even get a touch to it, you know. No. That's how pure the strike was, you know. It was even better because when you watch it, you'll see, I think it's Trossard comes across Dorgu just as he hits it. So it's an even better strike, you know. And coming off the crossbar like that always looks brilliant.
And just to clarify, VAR looked at the appeals for handball. Inconclusive was the...
Yeah, it looked like it came off the hip, didn't it? But certainly... Yeah, I agree with that. Even if it did brush the arm, it was inconclusive if it did or not. I thought it was the hip, and Arsenal players, of course, they appealed for it like you would, but no, I think that was the right decision.
Patrick Dorgu scored more Premier League goals under Michael Carrick than Ruben Amorim. There you go.
Whatever they're doing. Honestly, he's flying. The whole team's flying. Mo mentioned sport. Often confidence, one of the most undervalued things. United players have confidence and they believe they're defending well, and they got players on the counter that can hurt. So I think the blueprint right now is set for Man United.
But after that, the set piece kings did get back on level terms. Joint most goals from corners. We know how dangerous they are, and they did it again.
Yeah, they did. You know, and it's. You know, they practice them day in, day out at the training ground, but it's all about blocking the goalkeeper and then getting up the knockdowns, and that's exactly what they do. You know, and if you watch, I think it's Saliba on Lehmann's, he pushes one of the Man United players into him. Lehmann, I don't know whether he needs to come out for that, but sometimes you're better off if there's a load of players there, just stick on your line. You know, and it's really scrappy. He gets pushed out of the way, and as you can easily see there, it's over the line, but. Yeah, you know, Arsenal are really good at this, but it still ended up in a defeat.
Do you know what's interesting? You watch that, and Marino runs around Lamens from the other side. That must throw him, because he's probably thinking, why is somebody in my goal? Do you know what I mean? And he's the one that actually scores. It's quite remarkable, really, because there's so many bodies in there. Watch Marino. He runs around Lamens on the other side.
But it's all... That's all... They do that, you know, because it's either Saliba, it used to be Ben White. I think their Ben White actually gets pushed into the post by Declan or Cunha or whatever. But but like you say, with Marino going around and then backing in to block the goalkeeper, it's just so hard for him. But
because you can't really, you'd think some goalkeepers backpedal, don't they? Like the say from Lamens. Yeah. You can't backpedal because Marino's in the way, isn't he?
Yeah. No, exactly.
So Mikel Arteta's waving Arsenal forward, going for the 3-2 win, and then Matheus Cunha had other ideas. I mean, I have to tell everyone, you called this before he was anywhere near the penalty area. You just got that feeling that something special was coming from the player.
He drifted in as well. I watched him drift in from the left-hand side, and as soon as he touched it, I just thought, this is where he comes alive. He's unbelievable outside the box, long-range shots. See him come inside there. So he makes a run inside, and then Bruno goes on the outside and pins the fullback. So now he's on his own in the central area, and eyes light up. As soon as he picked the ball up here, first touch, I said, goal. here's a goal. He's just got an amazing effort. He's got power, he's got accuracy, he knows how to set himself, he's calm in this situation, he uses a man to bend the ball round. This is one of the most dangerous players in the Premier League in this type of area. And I just thought this is a huge chance, and bang, back of the net before you could blink. Incredible. I think this lad's a serious player. Yes, you know, he's a bit of a maverick. He could probably frustrate at times, but I think he's got pace, he's got a lovely touch, he can score goals. I was surprised that he didn't start, but on saying that, you know, after a performance against Man City that they put in, I can understand why Michael Carrick didn't change things. But he'll start next game, you know, no question about it, because it looks like Dorgu might have had a hamstring. Tell you what, I was surprised as well. I wasn't sure about Šeško coming on. I thought that was a bit of a risky one. I thought he might bring Mason Mount on, but anything Michael Carrick touches turns to goal.
Who were you sat there to question Michael Carrick, who was sitting next to us recently? I mean, that was some strike to win it, wasn't it?
Do you know, can we see it again? Because there's a lot, there's a lot more to it than just, like, the finish is amazing, obviously, it's the last part. Look at Šeško, that set. That's brilliant, by the way. He gets him in play. Watch this little ball from Kobe. It's really good football. It's that Šeško does his job. Kobe does his job. Cunha's obviously the icing on the cake. But look at Bruno, Kobe, beautiful football players, three of them combining. And Šeško's run actually slows down Gabriel for a second to allow him to get that shot off. So, and the thing is, we've said about the pressure at Man United and the pressure of playing at the club with the shirt. Cunha don't feel that. Do you see the way he took that ball and he finished, and then he went over to celebrate? He's like, this is me. And I think that's what you have now with Mbeumo and Cunha. You've got lads that are Ahmad that are ready to at 26, at 27 to deal with the pressure. And it looked like they enjoyed that today rather than feel the burden of playing for a massive club.
Yeah, I agree. When I'm watching that, I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, like, that's a side foot, like what we were talking about earlier. Side foot with pace. You can't, and when I'm watching Raya straight away, and he seems to get trapped behind, I think it's Gabriel, and he has a little look down the other side, and then by the time he's trying to get across, it's too late. He gets nowhere near it.
OK, let's get some Arsenal reaction now. Here is their captain, Martin Ødegaard.
Oh, Martin, a really painful one, actually. What happened this afternoon?
Yeah, it wasn't good enough from us. It's hard to tell exactly now. We need some time to analyse it, but yeah, it wasn't good enough, the performance, and should have done better. But now it's time to stick together even more and to just keep working, keep being together and bounce back.
Up until 1-0, though, the performance did seem good enough. Would you agree with that? And if so, what happened from that point on?
Yeah, the first half, I think we were the better team. We scored a goal and had control of the game, but we had a lot of giveaways in the game that created a few dangerous moments, and then second half, I think the momentum changed a bit. Yeah, we managed to get the 2-2 there, and then could have pushed on to win it, but then they scored straight away. So yeah, overall not good enough from us. But as I said, time to stick together, time to work even harder and push each other even more and bounce back.
I know you've not had long, but what have you said amongst yourselves?
Yeah, just what I said now. Now is the time to be together. It was never going to be easy in this league, and we know that. And now is the time to be really strong and together and keep working and just bounce back straight away.
You're really honest from the captain there. David, I must ask you about the changes Mikel Arteta made. 58 minutes in, 4 of them at once, and one of them was the removal of the captain.
Yeah, I was shocked, if I'm honest. And I think it was 2-1 at this time, wasn't it? You know, so it was almost like a knee-jerk reaction to the second goal. And I don't know why, it just seemed to bring tension into the crowd as well. You know, and like you say, taking off your captain, obviously he doesn't look very happy there. It was a real surprise for me because he's our playmaker. You know, to bring him off at 58 minutes, I just thought it changed everything because Declan had to then drop back. Because Zubimendi went off as well, didn't he?
Yeah. Yes, he did.
Yeah, you know, so Declan had to go back, and then you bring in Eze on, who's not really he has been a playmaker recently, but he hasn't done it a lot for Arsenal, you know, so it was a strange substitution, and like you said, bringing 4 on as well really disrupts the momentum of the team.
Yeah, I was surprised because I think I love Eze, but Ødegaard's the one. United were sitting deep, weren't they? So you need somebody that can pick a pass. Eze's not a pass picker, he's a dribbler. You know, so when you bring somebody as a 10 that's a dribbler, there's no space in the middle of the pitch. The space was out wide. So you need to keep the width, and Ødegaard could have picked a pass, but I just think it was very telling, his body language. Martin, when he looked up, he said, Me? I'm coming off the captain, and I do think you shouldn't take the captain off. You know, I just think you need his presence.
Owen, I must interrupt you because the match winner with a big smile on his face is going to talk to us live at the Emirates. Matheus Cunha, very, very well done. Try and bottle that and put that into words for us. What a moment.
Hey guys, it's a pleasure to talk with you all. What a moment, no? Like to come here to this club. Always we thinking about these moments, and to be part of that, of course, is everything that you dream to.
You've said many times it was a dream to wear the shirt. I mean, was that sort of a dream to score a goal like that, to win it away at Arsenal in a match of this magnitude?
Yeah, 100%. You know, like every single work that I did in all my life is to play these big games. Everyone said to me, these big games to big players, and score the match winner is everything that you dream to. But yeah, he's only to give everything to my teammates and help me every time, the fans, of course, to my family.
Matheus, it's Michael Owen. Congratulations. I must say, when you picked up that ball, I was watching with the guys and I said, goal here. We were looking at your stats. You score so many goals, more than anybody actually in recent times, from outside the box. Why are you so prolific from outside the box?
Hey, Michael, it's a pleasure to talk with you. You know, like every single training I try to have the shoot. I always talk with the guys, and the guys come to me and say, never more shoot inside of the box. You need to shoot outside of the box. You shoot better. And yeah, I keep to improve. This kind of shoots is something then kind of games in this league is so tight, you know, like every team defends very well, and this kind of moments is only one chance, and you need to be ready to score the goal. So I keep improving, and then the goals coming, so I feel very happy.
Hi, Matheus, congrats. It's Owen Hargis. We're just going to show you the goal again. The thing I like about it is there's three really good football players playing close to each other. Obviously, Šeško does great. Bruno, Kobe. And once you get into this space, I think Gabriel makes your mind up, doesn't he? To kind of go around, and you knew exactly what you were going to do, didn't you?
Yeah. So Gabriel, my teammate, the national team, you know, I know like how big he is when he tried to block the shots. But when I see like the little chance to put the ball in the corner, I try to. I feel the shot then have more confidence to do. And when I see the possibility to do the shot, like I feel like so confident to score the goal.
Matheus, Michael Carrick and his staff arrived, 2 games against the top 2 in the Premier League, and you've won both of them. And what has the last couple of weeks been like? How good a feeling around the group is there at the moment?
The feeling is unbelievable, you know. Like, come win the derby and win against Arsenal here is the feeling. Then, like I said to you in the beginning, is the feeling that every single player want to feel. So to come here after all the change then the club did, you feel like, of course, a little bit come like kind of confusions to the players. We know what happens in the future, but him coming, Carrick coming with like all the stability. Then he knows about the United. He always talk about the feel to win games with the shirt, and yeah, he tried to pass to us, and then we did everything in the pitch to keep improving and win the games.
You certainly did. What a moment for the team. What a moment for you. Thank you very much indeed for joining us.
Thank you, guys. It's a pleasure.
And they did. And they're at home to inform Fulham next. I mean, is there a real opportunity here to build some momentum of winning results?
Yeah, I mean, let's not forget, you know, they were 5th when Ruben left, and I think with no European football, I think they'll finish in the top 4 or 5. I think that they have an opportunity which other teams don't have. They're all in European football. You look at the fixtures, I fancy them against everyone now. Obviously, they'll be different. They'll probably have more of the ball. They have more of the ball today than they did against City. But if they can defend well like they have in these 2 games, with the players they have at the top of the pitch, I think they'll finish in the Champions League places.
Michael?
Yeah, it's quite incredible, isn't it? I don't want to be a downer on the whole thing. The biggest challenge, if you want to be brilliant again, if you want to challenge the top teams, the biggest challenge now is for them to be able to control games. Man City, they were without the ball a long period. Arsenal, and they've got pace on the attack, and it suits their defence, who've not got much pace, to sit deep. The hard thing, the biggest next step that Michael Carrick's going to have to work on is to break down teams that sit back against them. That's where they've struggled in the past as well. So that's another challenge. But, hey, I don't want to put a dampener on the last week or so. It's been incredible. And the confidence that's going to give them now, going into that set of fixtures.
You can hear that listening to Matheus Cunha talking to us there, can't you?
He couldn't stop smiling, could he? And no wonder, But the next handful of fixtures now look winnable, especially anything's winnable now the way they're playing. But they're going to be different games, and that's the big challenge now. But incredible, and they just need to keep riding this crest of a wave.
Indeed. Well, what a feeling that was right at the end at the Emirates. Let's go back there now because Andy Cole has been there all day watching for us. I'm sure you enjoyed that. Mr. Cole, how good was that seeing Matheus Cunha score that goal?
Yeah, special afternoon. Great finish, two great finishes. So Manchester United naturally going to be absolutely delighted that they come away with such a positive result.
Was it like a throwback, that late winner, the way they didn't settle at 2-2?
Yeah, it was, to be fair. And I like the way we're playing at the moment, to be brutally honest. You know, we're getting there, we're playing on the front foot, we're creating chances. You know, and we're going to the last minute. So when you mentioned throwback there, yeah, really, really good.
And in terms of the Michael Carrick effect and his staff since coming in that situation, I mean, he couldn't have dreamt of the two results and performances he's had. No, and we've got to be honest as well. No one would have given us a chance against Manchester City at home last week and today as well. But the way he set the team up, you know, the way he's had a go at Arsenal today, the way he had a go at Manchester City last week, you turn around and say to yourself, that's the way Manchester United should be playing anyway. You know, I think we've always had this idea that we can go anywhere and win. He's done that today here at Arsenal, and you've got to win your home games, and he's done that last week against Manchester City. Yeah, and as Harry Maguire just said there, I mean, one-off results, particularly in a derby, can happen. How important was it to back it up today with that positive result? Well, if you want momentum, especially to try and qualify in the Champions League spot, that's what you have to do. You have to come to places like the Emirates, get results, move on, and win your home games and continue to do just that. And I think this is a massive result, as everyone will look at it and say it's a massive result for Manchester United, you know, knowing that they've got games at home coming up which are more than winnable. And like I mentioned beforehand, if you talk about Champions League, this gives them a great opportunity to do just that.
Hey Andy, it's Michael Owen here, great to see you. I was just wondering what your take on some of the new signings are, obviously players that played in your position, the likes of Mbeumo, Cunha, real Manchester United players, do you feel?
Within time, yeah, of course they will be. I think, while I like it in Mbeumo, he wanted to play for Manchester United, and that's a big plus. And you watch him play now, you see him out there playing. He's desperate to play for Manchester United. He's scoring goals now. He's playing well. He's playing with a lot of energy, and I respect that. Cunha as well. You know, he's been left out of the team the last two games, but he's come on today and got an unbelievable win, and that's what it's about. You know, sometimes you're not going to be in the team, but you have the opportunity to come on and shine, and he's done that and scored a fantastic goal. And Colin, we know where United have been and what they've been through. I mean, this is an old classic fixture. You played in 13 of them. We've got David Seaman here. We haven't mentioned that. How many did I win? We haven't mentioned that goal at Old Trafford. You put past him anyway, so don't worry.
Just the one.
I mean, how good was it to see the current United becoming the first team since May to win at the Emirates in any competition today? This is so special. You mentioned there, you know, the games you used to play against Arsenal back in the day, and it was a little bit more intense than this, a few more tackles flying in there, but getting a positive result and to come here and to win, be the first team in the Premier League to win here as well. I think that kind of like puts a little marker down for Manchester United. Top man, Coley, good to see you. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you, no problems. That's Andy Cole live at the Emirates. So we're talking about Michael Carrick. High time we heard from him. Here he is, 2 wins out of 2.
Well, Michael, you're making being the Manchester United manager look very easy. How proud were you of that performance?
Yeah, massively proud. I think it was different to last week. 2 very different games, as I said to you before the game. You know, it was going to be different today, and they put us under a lot of pressure in different ways, and we never probably had as much genuine regular threat as we did last week within the game. But I thought there was periods when we did look really dangerous, and to come here and to score 3 goals, and in the manner we did, you know, with it going 1 down and coming back, and then the setback, and then keep going, and Matheus with a huge moment for us, and the boys had to put an awful lot in today. It probably didn't come as easy as it wasn't easy last week, but I mean the flow of the game and the momentum was with us pretty much the whole time. this one we had to dig deep, and it was a massive effort, and I'm really proud of them.
So after 20 minutes, half an hour, how did you start to turn the flow of that match?
We understood the start of the game was going to be a little bit like that, as much as we tried to turn the momentum in our favour. I think we understood how the game was going to go and the flow of it, and I thought we started to take the ball and connections through the pitch and had that composure and a few moments probably gaining a bit of confidence as well, which is understandable. And actually probably we were having a decent spell, and we just seemed to have come into the game when they scored, and which was disappointing, but again showed the character to come back. And there were stages in the game we had to defend, they make you defend the box really, and it's challenging at times, but I thought we had definitely enough in the game to keep believing in the confidence, and always fancied us to score.
Well, and of course they did score. We'll look at those goals in a moment. As we keep mentioning, up until a couple of weeks ago, he was sitting on this very sofa where he was talking about being a away United fan. We've seen his reaction today, and he's confirmed that both his children were in the Manchester United away end as supporters today, which is why perhaps he was releasing a little more emotion than we're normally used to with Michael in that situation.
Amazing. Do you know, and people talk about the connection and the history and the nostalgia. What's wrong with it? It's a good thing. Embrace it. You spoke about Cunha and players that, Coldy speaking about players that want to come play for the club. That's why, because of the history. They've seen all these great players, these games against Arsenal. And that's what makes the Premier League so special. And I think these guys wanted to write history today, and they did. And I think Carrick knows the club. He has a relationship with the boys. He's not a shouter, he's a yeller. He gives them some facts, give them some pointers. They had a great blueprint in terms of the way they set up against City and Arsenal. Defensively solid, and then they hit teams on the counter. And I thought Carrick and the players actually executed the game plan beautifully.
It's not always a fairy tale, is it? But it's certainly worked with Arteta as well. Somebody who's played and understands a football club of this size.
No, totally. And what he's done in 2 weeks now is that he's got Man United defending as a team, but then also looking dangerous on the counter-attack. Like you mentioned earlier about it'd be interesting to see when they've got to be the attacking team mostly, see how they deal with that. But at the moment, what we've seen in Man United is they're totally defending as a team, where sometimes before they were just defending as individuals. And this is so much better.
Helps when they're scoring the goals like they are as well. 3 shots on target today, 3 goals. We saw the one in the first half. First of all, stand forward Patrick Dorgu, who has now scored more Premier League goals under Michael Carrick than Ruben Amorim.
Yeah, do you know what? It helps when you've got good attacking players, because that takes the pressure off the defence as well. 1, they keep the ball a little bit better, but 2, they score goals, and it doesn't mean you've got to keep a clean sheet to win a game. I mean, this was an incredible finish. He just drifts off that left side. That run from Luke Shaw pulls the 2 wide players of Arsenal out, and that gives him a little bit of space to wander in field. And when the ball just drops to him, it's a nice little 1-2. The last little part of it is a little bit lucky. I think he tries to take a touch there, misses it, hits his hip, and just drops perfectly for him. And as that's dropping, it's just screaming. The ball is screaming at you. Hit me right into the top corner. And he does that. It's just drifting away from the goalkeeper, Raya, the whole way. What a finish. What a finish.
And you were saying as well, he can't have seen that, the goalkeeper, because of the way that angle was from behind.
Yeah, it was a fantastic strike, and that little fade away from Raya just meant he was getting nowhere near it, and when you see it hit the crossbar, you're praying for it to bounce on the line and come back out, but once it goes in, it looks amazing, if you're a Man United fan.
Yeah, it was quite similar, actually, to the third goal for Manchester United as well, Steve. Not in terms of the strike, but the way a player from the left just drifts in. Cunha drifted in later on with an overlap. That time it was Fernandes. I'm sure we'll see it now. But this is the third goal. And you see Fernandes make a run towards on the outside on the left, and it just allows Cunha. Here comes Cunha. Fernandes plays the ball inside, and he just pins Ben White, the fullback, and it just gives him that space. And as soon as he takes the touch, starts drifting inside. There's nobody in the Premier League that you'd want on that ball, bearing down on goal from about 25 yards. It was a beautiful strike. And he hits the ball so hard, even though it's the side of his foot, he's got beautiful accuracy on it.
You watch Raya look to the right of Gabriel there, and then he's out when he has to get across.
Yeah.
But because the power in it and the pace is just phenomenal.
Gabriel actually is a help in that situation.
Well, when we spoke to him on the other show, he said he's his international teammate and he knows he does that.
Yeah. It's sometimes a help having a target to whip one round. Because when you look at the ball and when you look at the goal, it's sometimes nicer to have a target in between, because it's quite a distance between you and the goal. I can only imagine a golfer or something. You know, do you aim for the flower? Sometimes they look only a few yards ahead and try to hit it over that target. So it probably helped, and it gave him something to bend the ball round. Sesko as well makes a lovely little run. I know he doesn't touch the ball.
And you even let the build-up here, Owen.
No, but you know what? He holds off Saliba, he does amazing. You know, and that brings these boys into play. You want your 3 ball players, get them on the ball and play. It's interesting. United had the most shots on target. They were the 3rd highest scores. Goal scoring's not an issue. Defensively has been the issue. They fixed that against City. They were good at it again today. The shape is better, the back 4 is in, and you've got players playing their natural position. Cunha, Bruno, Kobe. Those guys combining, that's where the goal came from. It's fabulous football. But again, you fix that defensively first. The goalkeeper's terrific. The back 4 looks settled. And you've got ball players in ball-playing positions. And I just thought it was... The 2 performers, City and today, were fantastic.
Yeah, we mentioned Kobe Mainoo ran nearly 11 kilometres last weekend against City, the most of any player on the pitch. The work rate, again, today was right up there, which impressed you.
Yeah, I mean, and that's been the biggest difference. I think David mentioned about, you know, the pressing. Look, everybody's working for each other. Before, when you'd watch the games, you think, oh, he's not tracking back, he's not tracking back. Look at Ahmad, that's your right winger. He's almost in a fullback position. And the one time he didn't do it is actually when Arsenal got in. But look at all the boys. Don't know what Carrick said to him. Look, whatever we do, we're going to do together. We're going to go back together and we're going to go forward together. Look how compact that team is. And that's why, even though Arsenal are the best team in the division by far, they had no space to play. They had nowhere to go. There were no real gaps. The goal comes from a mistake from Martinez, and obviously then you get the set piece. But I just thought the goalkeeper was really good. Obviously, you get the clearance off the line, but I thought they just felt like they were in control for me throughout the whole game, and the work rate and the pressing was... It rattled Arsenal, didn't it, David?
It did, and you know, even this pressing, I think this is a 3-2.
Yeah,
you know, they were pressing even at that stage where normally you would think everybody back behind the ball and defend around the box, but they've got this newfound confidence that obviously Carrick is giving it to us.
And as that shows, though, in organisation.
Yeah, they're compact, you know, and so, again, I think he said, whatever we do together. We go up or we go back. They played a little bit deeper in their own half. That's what that shows, which is good. Didn't allow Arsenal any space to run in behind. I thought the only player for Arsenal that posed a threat was really Saka, and I thought Shaw did a decent job on him, but I just thought the shape and being compact for any team is essential. And Carrick in 2 games somehow has addressed that remarkably.
And I know Ruben Amorim was sick of talking about the question about Kobe Mainoo. But he has, I'm just hearing, run the most kilometres of any player on the pitch again today.
I can't think of another player who couldn't play for a whole season and go in and play against City and play against Arsenal and play like that. Not one. As a young kid, he's a ball player. He's just thinking, just play me. Just play me. And he didn't play because of the formation, because they had 2 midfield players, and he's not the quickest. But Ugarte played and Casemiro played.
But he's just covered the most kilometres in 2 weekends running.
But just put him with the right people. Casemiro, Kobe, and Bruno Fernandes. That's a great midfield three. OK, they're not the quickest, but because they played close together, they looked after each other. And Arsenal, I've never seen Arsenal create so little in a game. You're talking about Odegaard and Zubimendi and Rice, the best midfield in the country. United won today, in testament to the boys.
Are these all examples of the little tweaks and changes that...
Probably. There won't be one thing. I mean, if you speak to Manchester United fans over the last 10 years, everybody will have a different reason. Is it the Glazers? Ownership? Is it the sporting director?
About these 2 games in isolation.
Steve, it's exactly the same. It's exactly the same. There's not one magic wand that Michael Carrick's come in and said, right, we're all of a sudden going to do this. Yes, picking players, Kobe Mainoo coming in, of course, makes a little difference. Of course, having pace in certain positions, having some great attacking players now, having maybe playing against a team like Manchester City that are on the ball and you know you're going to have to defend deep, that suits Manchester United as well. So all these little things, it was almost like the perfect storm. New manager, who you're playing against, the players that are available. Things start really well, and all of a sudden you grow, and then now you go into the Emirates and you're feeling $1 million again. It's the one thing that you just cannot quantify in sport or in life is when you feel great about yourself, how much more you can deliver. And as I say, it's not one thing, it's not one magic wand from Michael Carrick. There'll be lots and lots of different things that have all contributed now to the performances that you're seeing.
Do you know, Carrick deserves so much praise because the only person playing the same position is the goalkeeper. every other player in that team is playing a different position. The wing backs are playing as full backs, the two centre backs rather than playing a 3 and they're playing as a 2. Gone from a midfield 2 to a midfield 3. The 10s are actually playing wide. So virtually every player is playing a different position. It's actually remarkable, but everybody looks more comfortable where they are. And I know it's easy to say the back four, but I think having the players buy into Carras and say, right, whatever we're going to do, this is what we're going to do together. Even we had Cunha on before, the way he was smiling at the end of the game, and he didn't even start the 2 games, but even the subs are smiling and they look efficient. And again, there's a lot of good attacking players in it. They got the most shots. They're doing that well. They need to be efficient. We said that, and they were efficient today. And it just feels like the energy's back in this team. The fans are behind them. They've always been there. And let's see what United can achieve, because they look like they've got a blueprint for success.
And when you're delivering new messages, there's nothing better than beating the top 2 in the league to get the players believing in it.
Yeah, and beating them justifiably as well, because I can't look and watch that game and think Arsenal were the better team. Maybe in the first 20 minutes they were, but, Man United, they look compact. And like I said, when you've got a defensive unit like that now knows what they're doing, and then you've got a goalkeeper that's as calm as anything, that will come and dominate. He's not just coming out and punching everything. He's dominating in crosses. He's holding on to crosses. He's making big saves. And that just gives confidence to everyone.
Yes, it's a very different story as far as Arsenal are concerned. Their first defeat at the Emirates in any competition since last May. Here is their manager, Michael Arteta.
How can you explain a game like that? It was bizarre.
Well, first of all, you have to give credit to Manchester United. Obviously, we give them a goal, which is unusual and painful, and then they have 2 brilliant moments when they have incredible strikes from the edge, and we were in our best today.
You started the game so well.
Yeah. Well, the first 30 minutes, we were in total control. They started it very, very well. Played the game that we wanted to win, scored the goal, but after that, we gave so many times the ball away unnecessarily in really dangerous areas. And against this team, you are in the edge because you know the quality that they have. We talked before the game how they can activate the open spaces. And we started to lose control and dominance and became a more chaotic game.
Really uncharacteristic, wasn't it, some of the things we saw?
Yeah, it is the moment to stay with the players. Those players deserve a lot of credit for what they've done. The consistency that they show where we are is because they are so good and they've been performing. So when we lose a game, I take the responsibility and we have to protect the players.
At 2-2, did you think you got something out of the game?
100%. And after that, Noni is 1-against-1 in the 6-yard box. Goal was for a goal kick. They kick it long, 1 pass, and they score a goal. And they lost all the momentum because that was the moment that we had him. It's still, I don't know, maybe 12, 13 minutes to play. We were on top of it, and yeah, we just gave it away.
Yeah, 2 points from 9 now. He's honest enough to say they weren't at their best. Why weren't they at the best today, do you think, David?
I think you've got to give credit to United because of the way that they defended, the way they set their team plan out. They weren't just backs to the wall. They looked really dangerous on the counter-attack. And then I'm still surprised at the situation of when he made the 4 substitutions.
58 minutes.
58 minutes, and it almost felt like it was a knee-jerk reaction of going 2-1 down. Instead of trying to still be calm and then make those substitutions a little bit later, it just seemed to upset the flow of the Arsenal team. OK, they got the equaliser from a set piece, but for me, when you take your captain off like that, it's just... I couldn't see it as a positive decision.
Yeah, it was only 7 minutes after the 2-1 goal that you very rarely see any manager in a game make 4 changes at once, do you?
No, I can understand him making this up. I just wouldn't have taken Ødegaard off. In a game where United were defending really deep, he's the only player that's really going to pick a pass. Saka's a dribbler. The other boys are dribblers. Eze came on for him, and he's a dribbler. So you need somebody that's going to be able to pick a pass. I don't mind the 4 subs. Yoker has obviously come off the bench. Marino's a goal scorer from those positions. Ben White's a good attacker. With Saka, it's a good combination. But even Ødegaard looked a bit confused, like, really? Me? I'm the captain? And I think it's a signal also to the group. It's like, I appreciate he's got a big squad. I just wouldn't have taken him off because I think he's the one that could create something for anyone.
Yeah, I too think Manchester United probably are the one things in the way of Arsenal winning today. You can say Arsenal played poorly or did this and did that, but I think Manchester United were very difficult to beat today. Arsenal gave Manchester United a leg up with the first goal. Who knows if they didn't make that mistake? Who knows? I mean, they could have gone in at 1-0 at half-time, might have been a totally different game. But going in at 1-1 gives you an awful lot more confidence, and you think, yeah, we can score. Yeah, it's not as daunting as we may have thought it was going to be. I thought it was an average pass from Saliba and an even worse pass from Zubamende. But as soon as Mbeumo gets the ball in front of goal, I just never, ever doubt him. I think he's a very, very good finisher. This is a bobbly pass. As well, he passes the ball and he actually runs forward. I think he's basically saying, pass the ball back to the goalkeeper and I'll get out your way. But he's got to take more care on the pass. This should be like a slow rolled pass to him. It's bouncing a little bit and it's too quick. It's not that easy to control it back to your goalkeeper. So Saliba, he takes a small percentage of the blame for the goal, but Zubamende, of course, he should be doing better.
Yeah, totally agree. You know, it's the start of it is Saliba's pass. You know, it seemed to be like a panic pass. You know, like you say, once you bobble that in with a bit of pace, he's hard enough to control it, let alone that. You know, but like try and play it as a one-touch pass back to the goalkeeper was dangerous.
So 2 points in the last 9. There's still 4 clear. Is this a tiny little wobble from the league leaders, or nothing to worry about?
It's getting there. You know, when you do look at that, you know, you look at 2 goalless draws. You know, and I was thinking like, yeah, but if a bad result's a draw, then it's okay. But now we've gone on to a defeat against Man United, and the gap is obviously only 4 points, and it's not just one team that's in it. Obviously, it's Villa and City that are right behind us now. So this will be a test, but you know we've had these tests before, and it's how you react. It's how you react after a bad result, and we need to react positively.
And that's the question everybody's been asking about Arsenal, isn't it? They've had this cushion, which is still 4 points, but if they get a couple of out of character results, what is the reaction like?
Do you know, they've been brilliant up to this point, but none of these players have really won yet together, and they're all in this boat, on this journey together. Sometimes you need one guy that's been there, that's done it, you know, a Vieira or somebody that can mentor these young guys. I don't think they have it. They're all in the boat together. They need to manage this storm, little one, because they've been amazing, and they need to get over the line. Once they win the first trophy, I think they're going to win multiple trophies, but this year feels like it's the year they should get the job done.
There's just a little wave in the ocean, is it?
Absolutely, yeah. It's given everybody a little bit of a chance, hasn't it? I don't think Manchester City have been brilliant this season, but wow, they've been playing pretty average and they're only 4 points away from it. I mean, a massive result for Aston Villa today. That claws them into contention as well. So I still think it's Arsenal's to give away. I still think they're the best team in the league, the most consistent and the most solid, and they've got probably the best squad. But there are questions. They've not done it before. For a long, long time, so we'll see how it pans out. But 2 points from 9 is a wobble.
Your dreaded fixture next, Leeds away. That's when you have the weekend off, isn't it?
Exactly.
David.